gonna keep it quick, tight on this subject. Okay,
Okay.
y'all motherfuckers are dumb as hell.
Temporary view. Won't you help me and invite your life?
You guys might notice this is a different format for us than we normally have.
Very different.
That's because I ain't at home.
I know.
Until you guys like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. I got a day job, and that day job has me traveling. So I am actually in Seattle right now.
Yeah.
In Seattle right
Nice.
now. Lovely town. It's my first time here. Very, very lovely town. I'm just in downtown Seattle.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty dope. Pretty dope. I respect it.
Yeah.
Respect. So,
Yeah.
I've been
Shout
traveling.
out to what's in Seattle? Kevin Durant.
Nah, he ain't in
well,
Seattle no more. He started in
I
Seattle.
know, but you know he's from Seattle. He's from Seattle, right? Is it?
No, he's from
Or am I
Maryland.
tripping?
He was
Oh,
drafted.
I'm thinking of you know, dang, who's from Seattle?
Nobody. That's why you can't. The
He
Seahawks.
played for Seattle. He
Yes,
played for Seattle.
The Supersonics were in Seattle.
His first year.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then they turned into.
And then they turned into the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're right.
I see.
You're right.
All right.
You're right.
All right. Okay.
You got it.
I was thinking about somebody else. I
don't know who you were thinking about. But yeah, who
know.
does Seattle like? Who's their claim to fame? Nirvana.
all that the grunge literally started in Seattle.
Grunge,
just FYI, like they literally did.
Yeah, so that's their claim to fame. But it's a lovely town. Like outside of that, it's a lovely town. So I've been on the road since last Friday. I'd love to go home to my family, but you know, the fuck am I gonna do?
But been out here, bro.
Grinding.
You've been everywhere
all my life.
You've been on
grinding all my life. That's what I got going on right now. What's up with you, bro?
Been in different time zones. I text you, you're 3 hours ahead.
Bruh, I'm 3 hours ahead.
It's tomorrow, you know.
When you texted me, because I could have been in the central time zone when you texted me, but then my plane. All right, so I had to go to Memphis, but to get to Memphis, you got to go to Atlanta because you got to go past Memphis, and then you go back. So I've been time traveling. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah,
you like the Flash right now.
Yeah,
like the Flash. Right now.
Yeah, it's I don't make the rules. I just follow them. So yeah, it's been a crazy week, but I'm excited to be doing this right now. So I'm glad we can get this done. And I got a lot to get off my chest. I think you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll get to the Diddler, everybody. Let's save that. We'll get to the Diddler. Some other stuff I want to address before we get to the Diddler. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. We're making it happen no matter what. That's all I can say.
What?
We're making it happen. That's the theme of this week for me. Or, this past week was making it happen.
Well, you remember last week how we had to make it happen. Yeah, this has been a make it happen couple episodes.
Yeah. You know what though? The universe has been blessing us, People been watching.
We appreciate.
People been liking. People been subscribing. I appreciate everyone doing all of those things. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the love.
I appreciate the love and the hate. So comment away.
Yes, sir.
As long as you're watching, that's all I care about. I appreciate it. And again, depending on what you say, I may or may not engage. So appreciate y'all checking us out. So we're gonna get to it because your boys got some work. Until you guys like, subscribe, comment. It's free.
Stay working.
There's nothing there's nothing you need to do.
It's free. Nothing you need to do. Free 99, baby. Come on.
God, I feel like a prostitute. YouTube got me out here tripping.
I know, it was pouring myself out.
Yeah.
Please.
Please. Somebody like and subscribe and comment, please. All right.
All right, man.
What's the best thing?
Let's get right into it, man.
What's the best thing you heard?
Best thing we heard. All right, man. Best thing I heard was it actually came out a couple of weeks ago. I want to say it was "Tell Me" by Joey Badass featuring Chloe. your girl Chloe.
All right, she is my girl.
So that was the best thing. That was the best thing I heard this week.
Okay.
It kind of slipped by. I can't believe I didn't hear it when it actually came out. But man, oh man, there's something really nice about just like a good R&B hook to go with some bars.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's a formula that never loses. You know what I'm saying?
Especially by a rapper who is rapping and not singing on the track that is also getting the
Yeah,
hook sang on. So yeah. What's the name of the song?
yeah, yeah. Tell me by Joey
Tell
Badass
me.
featuring. Yeah, so tell me.
All right, I'm gonna have some time.
So shout out to Chloe because album was amazing.
I almost.
A great vocalist. I finally went to go listen to it. However many weeks after.
All right, so rewind. So that was like 3 pods ago.
No, I didn't listen to it this week. I listened to it like after that pod
Okay,
where you called me out on
I
it.
was about
Okay,
to say because I was about to call you out again. So what did you think about that album though?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Yeah, I feel like had enough like experience with her to know that she could go there with it.
Okay.
But you're always. I think I'm always worried about like an act like that they have a lot of it's like a lot of hands in the cookie jar when it comes to their albums, right? Like everyone's telling them you got to do this, you got to do that, and but I feel like she really like delivered on what I would have liked to have heard from her. And even like this song and in these features, she's playing to her strengths, which is cool to see from an act like her, right? Because she has a lot of eyes on her,
Mm-hmm.
right? For even outside of music, just for who she is.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just that much attention, but being able to put music out that you want to put out, being able to be on features that make sense, but doesn't look like a label play or an industry play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the
It
industry.
might very well still be, but
Yeah, and the industry's getting wild out here. It's gonna be hard out here
yeah.
for a pimp.
It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna
All
be
right,
crazy.
I'll check it out. I like Joey Badass. He's a good lyricist. I like him.
Yeah,
All right, I
yeah.
didn't even know they had something.
Shout out Joey Badass.
I didn't even know they had something out.
Yeah,
Just put me up on game.
yes.
All right.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look
Look at God.
at that. Look at God. Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
Won't he do it?
All right. Best
Oh man, what's the best thing you heard?
best thing I got. David James. It's called Nonfiction. I was listening to a different podcast and they had just brought up his name as a no nonsense, like traditional rapper. And I was like, oh, let me check it out. And I listened to this album straight through, quite honestly. It's David James and Passport Rive as who's producing on the track, and David James is rapping. There's 2 songs on there you have to listen to. Two.
I have to.
Got to listen to them. Song About Nothing
All
and
right, there you go.
24. It's the third and the fourth song. 24 is my favorite track on there. Song About Nothing
Okay.
is a really, really good track. Nonfiction, David James. Best thing I heard. I got a runner up for you too, actually, as well, because I listened to a couple of things. Because when you're on a plane, you got nothing but time.
You got time, baby.
Got time. David James first for sure.
Okay.
Blue in Exile. Love the
Let's
Ominous
go.
World. That album was good. Love the Ominous World was a good album. Got a track on there
Nice.
with Corrupt, and I'm like, man, I miss when niggas was out here rapping. Really miss when niggas was out here rapping. 'Cause y'all niggas ain't out here rapping no
Yeah.
more. But then the title track, Ominous World, is
Yeah.
probably one of the dopest West Coast tracks out. Like
Really?
Exile's producing his ass off on a couple of these tracks.
Really?
Yeah. So
Dang.
check out David James first. Support. He's an
Yeah.
independent artist. So
Right.
support. And then Blue in Exile, support. And we got to really start supporting these artists because this industry is getting wild. You heard, I think it was UMG or Universal or Warner. One of them got the deal with Meta.
Yeah.
Um, so I imagine people are going to start dropping on Instagram now, a la Kendrick
Yeah,
and Meek Mill and them.
definitely. You know, it's trending that way. It's been trending that way. I think there's been a lot of like these tests.
Hmm.
I think the Kendrick drop was a test. I think a lot of these drops through social media have been tests to see what would this look like. And you know, we've seen enough trends in our lifetimes to know like when they're testing something and when they're gonna finalize it. And they're gonna just implement this thing. It's gonna update on your phone. It's gonna be right there. You're gonna think it's weird for a little bit, and you're gonna get used to it. And it's in your brain.
And then and we're going to be plugged into the matrix, and they're not even going to have to do anything, and then we'll just be
Yeah,
batteries for the machines.
exactly. And then they're just gonna feed you lentils all the goddamn time or something. I don't
So I
know.
brought that up because it was fascinating to me that one, this feels like a beta test, like you said, with Kendrick,
Yeah,
and they did it with Kendrick, and not so much with Drake. Like Drake did his 100 gigs, but that was a website, and that might also
right.
have been a beta test. Although Kanye's been trying to do that, and there's a couple of other artists who were trying to do that before Drake.
Yeah,
This feels like a beta test they're trying to get going,
yeah,
um, to interact. But in doing that, it's gonna put the artist in a weird place because you know uh, people have been using Instagram. People are using social media. We're using social media to get their content off. But if now the label has a deal with the social media people, well, now we don't have
yeah.
this free space to
Mhm.
build our brands, right? Now Meta is going to be like, oh no, you got to go to the label because we got a contract with the label to get the music off, right? So I
Mhm.
don't know how happy I feel about this move. It feels very, where are we going?
Yeah. Well, so many moves in the industry, I feel like have felt very. I don't even know if this is the word, but like monopolistic, like monopolizing on the industry, right? I mean, we think about like Lucian issuing his son as the as the head of the next label, like come on, like you know the competition, pretty much you know putting your son as the head of the competition or what was presumed the competition.
Yeah.
Like okay, well is that what we're doing now? Like okay, like so 75% of music is controlled by like one family, okay. and then we keep going and you have deals like this with Meta where it feels like these, I guess, what we consider to be open spaces to be able to express ourselves and our music and our art are really being, again, sold to the highest bidder. And now it's like, it's just about as a creator thinking, how can you find a way to get your stuff direct to the consumer without any funny business? And it's getting harder and harder, you
It
know?
is getting harder and harder, and it's a concern. And I actually would prefer it if we went backwards, back to records,
Mm.
or back to not CDs because I don't want a CD player in my fucking car again. But if we went back to records, or went back to the iTunes model where you had to actually go buy the song and stuff like that, I think that's a better,
Right.
truer way to put music back. But I think we've got here because everybody was just releasing a lot of trash, a lot of trash, and the music
Yeah.
industry has determined that it is no longer profitable to release music. It is
Yeah.
profitable to control all the distribution channels for music and then make everybody either sign with them or charge them exorbitant fees to do this. Um,
Hmm.
and this feels not safe. Feels not safe, but we'll see where this goes. So watch out, guys. Watch out. If you're a musician out there, y'all need to unionize. Y'all need to get on the actors level. Hit the strike button. I'm telling we ain't
Hell
gonna do
yeah.
shit until y'all
Hell
figure
yeah.
this out.
Oh man, y'all got one last chance to do it, cause
But do it after the Super Bowl. So I would prefer we do this after the Super Bowl.
oh
Uh,
man, it's gonna be too late by then.
well, I mean, you're probably right, but they don't have a union. So if everybody just stopped making music, then Lucien Is gonna have to figure it out. I hear Elliot's over there closing. He's shutting down shop as well, kicking everybody out. Like, hey, get out of here.
Get
Uh,
out of here.
get out of
A lot of
here.
moves in the industry, behind the scenes, a lot of things I'm hearing shifting, executives being let go or moving on to
Hmm.
something else. There's a lot of shifting in the music industry. And, if we know anything about just business plays, it's that, these things happen when they're preparing to shift even just the whole function of how that the company or the industry works. So I definitely see it as a lot of people with a lot of experience and a lot of like a whole laundry list of achievements just kind of separating from their previous executive roles.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I was having these thoughts because, as I said, I've been traveling. I went to Memphis over the weekend to
Yeah.
celebrate with a friend, see another buddy that lives out there, and seeing if you little shits would do your music history, seeing like a music capital like Memphis, Tennessee, where it is now. Bill Street was great, and the city has so much potential, and it's a lot of fun to be had there in Memphis. But it definitely is a shell of its former self,
Really?
right? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to monologue here because I had a very emotional experience, up and down experience with being in Memphis. Had a great time seeing my friends and everything, and going out. Really good drinks, really good food. Barbecue was good. Fried chicken was good. You know what I mean? My heart doesn't like me for anything that happened this weekend, but it was all delicious, and I'm glad to have experienced it. But um, being able to go to the actual place and see where Martin Luther King was assassinated there in Memphis at the Lorraine Hotel looks exactly the same because they built the Civil Rights Museum around that. It's a sobering experience, driving around the city of Memphis, seeing these dilapidated buildings and things like that, and just seeing a place that has so much music culture. White people love Elvis. White people love Johnny Cash. White people love um, a bunch of people. Otis Redding started there. Isaac Hayes. Like, I can go on and on and on and on about all the artists who these fucking terrible artists are standing on their shoulders right now and don't even understand it or know it, right? And that's a place that is just a shell, right? And so it was a really great but sobering experience, um, to see all that history and just know that, outside of Beale Street and some of the other things that go on there, don't get me wrong, Memphis still has stuff going for it. There's still, a thriving downtown. They have the Grizzlies for whatever that's worth if you're a Grizzlies fan. So you know what I mean. Um, and love the people. Everyone was very nice. I enjoyed my time there, but just being in that space, um, going through the Civil Rights Museum, starting at slavery and ending up at the feet away from where Martin Luther King was assassinated, going on that tour, music tour, and they were fair. The tour was great. The tour guide was great. Elvis stole what he got from, you know, um, gospel singers.
Chuck Berry
Yeah,
and gospel
gospel
singers,
singers
and
talking.
we can go
We can
on
go
and
on
on
and on.
and
And
on.
he did. He did. He didn't hold nothing back. Talking
Yeah.
about how Johnny Cash learned what he was doing from going down on Bill Street and watching blues guitarists, and then going home and
Yeah.
trying to replicate that and everything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they came out with great music. So it was a crazy experience. I enjoyed it. And it made me come back and want to do this more. So that way we can actually talk about, because I feel like what we've lost in music is our history, right?
Yeah.
I saw a video this weekend. I think the New York Times or LA Times, one of the times. They did a little short on rappers and how they record, and there's this method called the punch in method, which I had never heard of before. So I'm just learning, right?
Hmm.
Where they would listen to the beat
Yeah.
and then they kind of like mumble over the beat and then come up with a line and they punch the line in and then they stop and then they go through that process over and over again. And they never write anything down. And so no artist now, or I shouldn't say no, very few artists now actually write rhymes. Most of them just say something, they come up with a line, and then they punch in that line onto the track, and then they just come up and they construct the song that way. And I was like, no wonder this is all trash because you're all doing the same beats and you're all just kind of mumbling the same way, and then you're just saying the same thing. So no wonder this is all trash because you haven't actually written a song, right? Because if you write it down and you construct a song, then when you go to write again, you're going to be like, I already said that. I can't say it again. Right.
uh,
So
right.
going to Memphis, seeing all this lost history that I think a lot of young people could get, it was fantastic. I recommend you go. And if you're in the Memphis
Yeah.
area, or if you go to the Memphis area, gotta go to the Civil Rights Museum. It's Mando Commando. I'd make it the first thing you do. That
Yeah.
way you get that out of the way.
Heavy,
Yeah,
heavy. It's okay.
yeah,
All
definitely.
right.
Don't leave that way. You want to go with, yeah.
Fucking Trail of Tears on the way to the airport.
Oh yeah,
Jesus
it
Christ.
was it was great. It was great. But yeah, Memphis. Check out Memphis, check out your history and understand
Yeah.
where not just we're not talking about just hip hop anymore. Understand where your country music comes from. Understand where your rhythm and blues
Yeah.
comes from. Understand where all this stuff comes
Yeah.
from. It was really good. It was a really good experience.
Yeah. To that point, yeah, we do have a disconnect to our history and lineage to the things that we enjoy or the things that we find uh, to have a lot of passion for. It's very easy to get lost because I think there's so much being thrown at you in the current day and what you consume that it's easy to forget. Um, well, I don't know if I would say it's easy, but I think it's easy for a lot of people who are coming up now and consuming music now to just be like, all right, well, what did I get today? What am I getting tomorrow?
Hmm.
And I'm not thinking about the '60s. I'm not thinking about Aretha Franklin.
No,
You
they're
know what
not.
I mean? Like I'm not thinking about.
No,
I'm
they're
not
not.
thinking about. Like they're not thinking about the history of things and how things built up to where they are now. For better or worse, where that's kind of subjective in that sense, um,
Well, I
but
mean, it's
again, there
clearly.
is a history there. There's a way that we got here,
Hmm.
right? And like you said, we are standing on the shoulders of people that did it before us and allowed us to get here. And that's in more ways than one. That's culturally. That's if you want to talk about the country or the country that you're from, wherever you're from, whatever you come from, whatever you find interest in. Again, there's a lineage, right? And I think we agree that we need to pay more respects to that lineage
Yeah.
and get back to that maybe.
I'll say this: there's nothing in life that when we get more quantity, that it's better, right? And so in this punch in method, um, artists
Yeah.
are able to produce a lot more songs in a shorter amount of time, right? Way back when they would
Hmm.
record one song on a record and put that motherfucker out, and then that was like it, and then they would have to go back and record another song, and you're getting like a one song a record
Yeah.
or four songs a record,
Yeah.
right? But now artists are able to put out tracks very quickly via this method. But we all know that fast food is not healthy for you. So we know that in
Right.
life, if you start putting stuff out in large quantities, then the quality suffers. That's just a thing that happens, and that's where we are
Yeah.
right now. Quality control.
It's the mass producing effect. It's the mass production effect. It's the Amazon effect.
Hmm.
It's the Amazon basics effect. Oh, this fucking iPhone charger was shit. I wonder why. Oh, I got it for $5 off of Amazon. You know what I mean? So,
I got it off a
oh, the
Wish.
song sucked. Yeah, I got it off of fucking Rakuten. I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's just like you know, that's exactly that, right? It's exactly the point of, you're gonna mass produce something. There's gonna be a lot of shitty stuff that comes by, right? A lot of shitty stuff. And the same as with music. The
Shift through a
same.
lot of shit to get the good stuff.
Speaking of shit, what's the shit?
What's the shit? Yeah, speaking of
Oh, what's
culture,
the dirt?
speaking of
What's
culture
the dirt?
and understanding history, what's the
Yeah.
shit? What's the dirt? He's the
What's the
dirt.
shit? What's the
He's the
dirt?
dirt. Okay,
He's
so before we
he's
get
the
into
mud.
this,
He's the
he's
mud.
mud butt.
He's the
So
mud.
so so before I get into this, I was very,
Yeah.
very, very angry about watching this What's the Dirt situation. And I know he's come out with an apology, which is fine. He apologized. Great. You,
It's-
but you only apologized after all the backlash. Like you came out like hair on fire after, some back and forth.
Yo,
And yeah, hey, what's the dirt? I'm a podcast that's using your status to big up mine, but what I'm not gonna do is sit here and tell people about their culture when I'm not in the fucking culture. So that's what I'm not gonna do.
I'm not gonna dissect everything like I know what's going on to the nth degree, and I know I can make all these ties because I just have all this knowledge
Hey,
about.
and Drake said nigga 37 times because he's 37 years old. And that's
Bro,
telling everybody he's black. We never said Drake wasn't black. Okay. We said he was affecting a caricature of American black culture. I don't know how many.
let's get into it, man.
All right.
We got to get into it. We
All
got to
right.
get
So
into the
and we're also
details.
gonna
All
call this
right.
the Drake section of the show as well. So
Yeah, it's very much the Drake section.
so
Let's do
I
it.
have one thing. White people,
Mhm.
give it a rest. If you're a guest in the culture, then just be a guest. A couple of pods
Yeah,
ago, I talked about home training. Something Rick Ross probably learned now. Um, have some home training. When you come into somebody's culture, when you go into somebody's house, you don't go in there and tell them like how they run their house. You go in and you be a guest and you sit down and you fucking behave. But somehow you
right.
motherfuckers get a little bit of leeway, and all of a sudden you know about blood gang culture. You know, all black people say nigga, which is not true. I got a list of shit that I'm gonna run off because this motherfucker pissed me off. Okay, he's talking about Whitney, and this is not just me being a Kendrick fan. This is me saying, what the literal fuck are you doing? Talking about
Right.
black culture in this way, and it felt
Mm-hmm.
like a Kendrick hit piece because you spent
Yeah.
2.5 fucking hours breaking down a fucking Drake song. Is not You could have spent 25 minutes on that fucking song because that's all you need to break down some fucking Drake lyrics.
I mean, okay, I had the displeasure of watching the whole thing.
I did not do that.
I watched the whole thing.
More power to you.
Okay. I be putting myself through
You
bullshit
do.
for this podcast, I
You do.
swear.
One of us has to.
So I did the knowledge, I can't. I'm not gonna say that I just saw clips on social. I stayed away from everything.
Okay.
You told me about it, and I was like, all right, let me go watch
Okay.
without any other influence besides you telling me like, yo, you gotta go watch this. You gotta, because I'm upset.
All right.
You called me in the middle of the week, and it was. I'm upset.
I was very upset.
I'm heated right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, rightfully so too. I mean, it was a tough watch, and for me, it was just tough because it's just hilarious to me the way in which he spoke about things. It wasn't hilarious that he was doing that. It was just hilarious because there's just a disconnect, a lack of understanding. Again, you had the gall to put it out in the first place, right? You didn't see anything wrong until someone told you something was wrong, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that was the first part you messed up on, right? And the reason why you're still getting shat on right now is because you thought you had a lot of dip on that chip, man. You had a lot of dip on that
It
chip.
was all dip, no
I
chip.
thought it was all dip, bro. It was like fucking shit's running down your hands. Nasty. Nasty. Ugh.
Nasty work, bro.
Ugh.
I mean, I I I don't understand what Canadians got going on right now when they look at America. But I can appreciate that hip hop culture moves people in a way that they feel like they want to be a part of it.
Right.
And so, and he did do, I did like, I'm not going to lie, I like the 616 in LA breakdown. That's the only one that I've watched all the way through. I haven't watched any of his other breakdowns all
Mm.
the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of them here. And I think I told you when he did the 616 in LA, I was like, hey, it's good, but I don't know how I feel about white people breaking down hip hop lyrics like this. Shit makes me uncomfortable. Uh,
Well, it's just the fact that it comes off very voyeuristic, very on the safari jeep, pointing at the tiger. Like, what are we talking about, bro? What are you talking about right now, bro? Like, why are you talking about it like this? Like, what are we like? These are people we're talking about. Like, like what are we doing here?
people,
You know what I mean? It's very and again, that speaks to the detachment that's there, right? Um and it's just so evident in the way that he speaks about it, the things that he says, the reaches that he's making. Again,
bro.
it's like the things he's fixated on, and it's just like you did not have to go there at all, and then you went there, and then you doubled
We
down,
doubled
and
down. I mean,
that's what got crazy.
Nene, he was Stretch Armstrong reaching for some shit.
Ah man,
So,
he was giving Mr. Fantastic a run for his
oh
money,
my
bro.
goodness,
That shit.
so
Reed Richards.
if any white people are watching this right now, let me say this. Um, my grandparents, who I was mainly with most of my life, I had my mom in my life, obviously, and I was with my mom too, but my grandparents were who I was with. And even my mom, to a great extent, has never used the word nigga in my household. Never. So, white people, if you think all black people just grow up calling each other nigga, that is not true at all in any shape or form. I didn't
Right.
start saying nigga till junior high. And if my grandparents are watching this podcast, they're probably appalled at the amount of times I say nigga. Okay. So I just
Right.
want to make
Right.
that point. So that
Yeah.
was, and just to help you guys, help white people understand some of the nuance that what's the shit lacked. He lacked the nuance and understanding that they say it all the time. Shout out Key and Peele. Black people are not a monolith. You know what I'm saying? So there are black people out there who don't like being called a nigga, right? And they will come right out
Right.
and say, hey, no, I don't like when you call me nigga. And I'll be like, respect,
Yeah.
right? Now, if anyone told me
Right.
they don't want me to say nigga, I'll be like, nigga, hush. But if they told me they didn't want me to call them that, respect,
Right.
respect.
Yeah.
So there's these nuance
Yeah.
of Black American culture that white people in general, but Canadian white people specifically, seem to be missing
Right.
right now. And I don't know what's going on in
Right.
Canada. But y'all niggas need to get that shit together.
It's a fixation. Everyone's fixated on Black American culture over there right now. They're just they're like, yo, like I'm zoned in right now. I'm focused. I can't. They just I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What about hip hop do you think makes everyone feel like they are a part of it?
So makes everybody feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah, or can be a part of it.
Really? So hip hop, I would say, is hip hop culture in its essence. I think. What would I say? It's a culture that sets a standard, and then it doesn't get the appreciation for it in the general population, right? So it sets the standard for what's cool,
Hmm.
right? And whether you're a white kid in the suburbs in Ohio, or whatever, wherever you live, right? There's influence from hip hop culture that transcends um, to the again to the masses, right?
Hmm.
To it's not just this niche thing, right? It's not like I'm trying to think of how to say this without offending any other like subcultures, but I'm just gonna go for it. It's not like goth culture where it's like kind of niche, and maybe it had its like
That
thing
is
at a certain time, right? Like maybe like it was like in the '80s, and then again like in the 2000s, but it's always been niche, right? It wasn't ever really setting like the full standard of like what's cool, what everybody wants to do. It wasn't tied into so many um, different aspects of culture just within where we live, right? In terms of just this country, if you want to say, um, right, where it's tied into like uh, in everything, in sports and media, and in again, um, how we dress, how anyone dresses, what anyone thinks is cool. A lot of it slants to hip hop, right? And it comes from again, talking about lineage. Things come from lineage, right? Like there's certain things that become cool again, especially like in fashion,
yeah.
where we think like they were doing that in the '80s. Okay, that makes sense. You're wearing chucks with like cut off pants. They were doing that like in the '90s. Okay, right? That came from like skate subculture. Okay, um, you was wearing like the Nike Techs. I mean, they were wearing the Adidas
Hmm.
tracksuits, right? There's iterations of these things where it's like, okay, and so I would say, at least specifically in American culture, a lot of those things are taken from hip hop because hip hop was on an upward trend of, I guess, again, culturally being this thing that was popular and becoming popular music. And we would say where it transitioned to where rap, again, just rapping is what's been popularized, right? And again, why anyone thinks they can do it, right?
Everyone thinks
Um,
they can do it.
but that's where it comes from, right? That's what's there. That's the reason why these white kids get so fixated on it because they're like, this is the cool thing, right? This is what I want. This is what I want to be. It's something that I wasn't just like born into, so I want to be a part of it. If that makes sense,
Hmm.
I don't want to be an outsider. I want to be inside this thing. So that's what I would say, right?
Hmm.
And
And I asked you that because, again, I already believe like black culture, American black culture specifically, uh, like you said, we set the stage for what's cool. I know Atlanta thinks they're running fashion. They're not. But I know they think that, and I
yeah,
know they think they are, king shit when it comes to rap right now. And they've been like the Atlanta sound, the trap sound,
yeah,
has taken over hip hop and country and pop and all. There's elements of it all over there. So I want to give respect to the South for what they're bringing to music, which they always have, right? But at the same time, we've created this microwave thing. But since black people, American black people, kind of set the standard for what's cool, because wasn't nobody rapping
Mhm.
until niggas started rapping, right?
Right.
That's around the world. That's on the continent. That's in London. That's in Brazil, Japan, right? Like
Hmm.
that's everywhere you want to be. People are rapping, right? And I think if we circle back to what's the dirt, we were just having conversations in the culture about vultures, Post Malone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was fascinating to me that he was given examples of people who vultured the culture.
Hmm.
Okay. And then he continued to vulture the culture like that. It didn't make sense to me because I'm like, you are literally making your living breaking down beef between maybe every time it's black artists, two black artists. I'll give Drake's black. Okay. So we know that. We know that what's there. You didn't
Shock,
need to tell us.
shocker.
Right? Like we know that. Um,
Uh,
but it's primarily two black artists. And so it just feels to
yeah.
me like, look, again, whites. Okay. If you see something and we swaggy and you want to imitate it or you want to talk about it, it's best for you to take a step back, recognize that you are talking about it from an outsider's perspective, and you should be
Hmm.
respectful in that way. Because,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think that's the line that he crossed, right? Was starting to be disrespectful in the way that he was conducting his analysis.
It was
But even at
disrespectful to
the,
be
at,
2.5 hours. That was disrespectful.
what was the Euphoria one? Wasn't there a Euphoria one or
Man,
like the
shit,
616?
he ain't.
Those were like 30 minutes.
You break down Kendrick for 45 minutes and got 2 hours on Drake. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
It was too long. There was. I kept looking at like this shit not done yet. This shit not
Hey,
done
he
yet.
did that for you guys because I for sure was like, all right, click. I turned that shit smooth off. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Bro, and honestly, you were heated enough at the first 20 minutes, which I understand because the first 20 minutes are already flagrant. It doesn't get any
It
better,
was foul.
right? But then we get like an hour and a half in, and he's just saying shit that's just like disrespectful. Like I'm glad you didn't watch all the way in because it's bad. It's just bad, and apart from all the trolley shit, which again I attribute that to the academics effect, to the fact that you're trying to create this kind of shock jockey approach to analyzing this beef, and you don't give a fuck about like who you're talking about, whose lives are affected by these kind of things, and you're just purely talking about it because you feel like I'm gonna get engagement on this, and that's all I care about more than anything else, right? So not having any morals to stand on when it comes to your content, just being like, all right, well, if this gonna do it, then this gonna do it, right? And I didn't appreciate him hiding behind the fact that he's trying to say like I'm coming at it from a analytical point of view, because at the end of the day, I could see through a lot of the things that he was saying that they were just downright trolly. Just like, again, that people are gonna watch this because they're expecting to see this from you, and when they get it, you're gonna put quote unquote entertainment value into this video for further engagement, right? Because once you put it in the ether, it'll then be clipped up by other people to create that engagement for you. So we in this game, man. I know how it works, man.
Hey,
But look, man. There's a nasty way to do it. Exhibit A.
exhibit. I'm gonna show what's dirt right now. I'm gonna say this and then we can move on to our
All
next
right,
topic, right? So what's the dirt? From what I understand, and even based on his accent, sounds like he's from Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Okay. Now the way that's spelled, if I want to be a disrespectful asshole, I would call it Newfoundland. But because I respect their culture, right, I'm gonna say things the way that they say them,
Yeah.
right? And not be a fucking dick about it and be like, well, I'm just looking at it from the outside. And when I look at it with my eyes, it says Newfoundland. Like that's gonna irk you a little bit. Like, well, that's not how you say it. So could you stop doing that?
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's a small example and not even remotely equivalent to what the fuck he did, because he was just being flagrantly racist on some of this shit.
Yeah.
But
Again, it's as if we were to hold up every Canadian to what's the dirt
yeah,
and Drake,
those are your two
and we can
representatives
crack
now,
our
Canada.
little. We can. I mean, hey, you guys gotta clean it up.
That party
I
album
wish
better
for
be fire because you guys are striking out right now.
I'm really
Just
I'm really rooting for Party to
fucking division better release
because
something.
the Blue Jays not gonna do it.
Fucking Raptors ain't going no fucking where. Like, yeah, y'all
The Raptors
motherfuckers are
ain't
done.
man. They rebuilding, still rebuilding.
Uh, yeah, them and Drake. Anyway, all right. Enough about that. But I mean,
Oh
speaking
my god.
about hate. You had some you called me
Yes,
and you was like, "Hey, I need to get this shit off my chest." And so this
I
is the
had to,
me
man.
respecting your culture section of the show. I'm gonna let you rock. Go
Man,
ahead.
oh
Tell the
man.
people how you feel.
All right, man. So, you know, it's not to get too political.
Uh oh.
All right,
Uh
but
oh.
we're not gonna get too political, okay? But I'm just gonna call something
Uh
out
oh.
because I calls it like I sees it. All right, man. This Latinos for Trump shit is stupid as hell. This shit's dumb as hell. Look,
All right.
look. I'm gonna keep it quick, tight on this subject, okay?
Okay.
Y'all motherfuckers are dumb as hell. Is what I'm gonna say. Y'all are so
I
dumb,
like,
so dumb.
love the energy. Go on.
All right, man. I got to call out some names.
Go for it.
All right,
Go for it.
I'm gonna list them off. All right. Daddy Yankee.
Jesus.
Hurts my heart to say.
Jesus.
You on my shit
Oh
list?
man, Daddy Yankee.
Okay. No more gas in this car, baby. I'm out of here. I'm walking home. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm walking
All right.
home.
All right. Who else?
Nikki Jam. She's great, but I can't support her.
She's hot.
She's hot. I don't know if you know her, but she's hot. That's that
All
bullshit,
right.
man. That's that
Daddy
bullshit.
Yankee, Nicky Jam. Who else? Who else is on the shit
Let's
list?
just get done with the Puerto Ricans.
Is this list all Puerto Ricans, by the way? Okay, that'd be hilarious. Go on.
Oh, fucking Justin Quiles.
Okay.
Justin Quiles.
All right.
Nobody knew who he was when he got on that stage. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like Little Pump.
I mean, yeah, they were like, "Who the fuck is?
Who the fuck is this? All right.
Who the
Justin
fuck is
Quiles.
this? Are we supposed to know?" All right, Mario Lopez.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Listen up, Slater. Fuck out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Make a little.
Hey, but you know what? Anybody who wants to disregard their heritage when their last name is Lopez, I mean, you go off, bro. If you want to do that for that long
I don't.
and pretend like you're not Mexican American, then
I don't.
by all means, bro.
I don't know how George Lopez feels about this talk.
Oh. Oh man.
Anyone else?
All
Who
right,
else
look.
is? Who else is on the list?
I mean, not really surprising. Oscar De La Hoya.
I'm not surprised by that one.
He's been doing some buffoonery for a long time, so I'm not really
driving for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not really too surprised by that one. But hey, man, I gotta call it out. Look, this is a short list.
Anuel. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about Anuel.
Oh, Anuel. See, I forgot about him.
I just remembered him.
Oh man, that's the whole left side of your reggaeton playlist. You gotta fucking get the hell out of here.
Why did this bring up this passion in you? What happened that these motherfuckers brought this out of you?
Look, man, I had to call out this stupidity that I see here. Okay, I'm not even gonna lean one way or the other politically. I'm just gonna say that for a lot of Latin Americans, is what I'll say, that have a heritage and cultural ties to whether it is Latin America, right, whether it's Central or South America or Cuba, right, or it's any Spanish-speaking countries, right. A lot of these countries have one thing in common. There's been historical context of these countries being in what we say, like controlled by regimes.
Okay.
Sometimes American led that have oppressed the people of these countries, right? So as Latin Americans, we're very privy, and I'm going to hold Latin Americans to this standard. We're very privy of dangerous rhetoric, especially dangerous political rhetoric, right? We come from that. That's a cultural thing that's in our kind of embedded, right, in our parents and then the children and generations onward. So I'm going to hold us up to a higher standard when it comes to this and say that it's unacceptable to be shucking and jiving for the Trumpies, right? For I don't know why, because if I'm not mistaken, Puerto Rico got hit with that tsunami and Trump didn't do shit.
Threw some paper towels at him.
He's like, "Hey man, clean yourself up."
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are we talking about, right? So okay, you shucking and jiving for a dude that didn't give a shit about you, that spewed rhetoric that's on record. I'm not making anything up of what he said, right? I mean, what he said about our children, about the quote unquote people we send here,
Hmm.
right? And just because he was speaking about Mexicans didn't mean that he didn't mean all these other people too,
Yeah, he only knows one
right?
kind of culture, and it's Mexican. So yes,
Yeah, no, he thinks Spanish is talking Mexican,
yes,
right? So, so,
correct.
so I'm just gonna say this, man. We got to do better, and it wouldn't be me without calling it out. Is what I'm gonna say.
All right, I
Right.
respect.
And whilst I'm not surprised, I'm not one to be surprised at I don't even know what you would call it, just selling out when it comes to Latin American folks that want to go and sell out and then, pretend to be white. Hey, I'm white passing.
Hmm.
My last name's not Lopez.
Hmm.
It's Lopi.
It's Nick Fuentes is a known racist white supremacist. His last name is Fuentes. So
Bro, he
uh, the-
riding hard.
Theodore Cruz. Just saying. I mean,
Come
look,
on, man.
look.
What we doing?
I'll say this. One, I'm glad you have some passion about um, how you feel. Black people are also dealing with this. I mean, Lil Wayne, fucking Kodak Black. Um, I think if we want to give a synopsis of this little section, is you guys have
Mm-hmm.
very big platforms, right? And so there's a lot of people in your culture. eh, Look, niggas ain't listening to Kodak Black. We don't give a fuck who he's voting for. Okay. But on your side, there's a lot of people
Right.
who listen, who may not really understand what's going on, may not speak the language very well, if at all. And so there, you guys have a really big microphone. And if you're using that microphone to support someone who um, is antithetical to your culture, right, and what it
Mm-hmm.
represents, and is actively talking about making sure that um, none of your countrymen, right, and or family can get over
Mm-hmm.
here to try and better their life, who actually separated children from their parents as they were coming to the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is the man that
Let's
you
not forget.
for a little bread, because the GOP came and shot y'all a little bread. Like,
Right.
this is what you're gonna do. And I know it because black people are already doing it, right? Again, Kodak
Right.
Black's on stage, Amber Rose, right? Like, she's out there,
Right.
right? And I
Anybody with an inkling of influence in Black American culture, they're gonna
yeah,
try to pay them off to come
right.
over to this side.
Exactly, exactly. And so as we build our platform, right, vote for who you vote for. Well, respect. And
Yeah.
if you're voting for him
Yeah.
because of whatever reason you would do that, we still gotta call you out for the bullshit. Kodak Black, I know why you're voting for him. He got you out of jail. This shit, I get it. Lil Wayne, same thing. All right, Lil Wayne, you've been suspect for a while, but you know what I mean. You know,
Yeah, he's been on the fence,
but there's a
but
lot. There's a lot of rappers out there right now that are like, and there's a lot of musicians out there that are like on the Trump train. And I think you guys just need to be really careful about what you ask for.
right.
Especially again, I just came from a place that has a great connection to civil rights in this country. And the thing
Right.
that is even allowing you to vote, right? There was someone who paid the price to make sure that thing
Hmm.
happened. And just think
Right.
about it. Vote for who you want to vote for, but just make sure you ready to lie in that bed. Mario Lopez, that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that hurt. Slater, that hurt,
Um,
man. I was like, nah, man, not Slater.
you know, I don't know. This motherfucker might have been voting for Republicans. I don't know this motherfucker. So yeah.
Yeah, what do you? For me, it doesn't even. Again, vote who you're gonna vote for, right? Everyone has that right, right? I could give a shit, really. Well, I mean, a little bit. Obviously, I'm a little passionate about it, but what I mean more is, I'm calling out the BS when it comes to, again, my Latin American or Latin brethren
Mhm.
out there, right? Only because, right, you want to dick ride this candidate, but then you don't want to speak on all these things that are going on about our people, right? I don't like it when I see it lopsided like that, right? Especially when we know the things that are objective, right? We can argue all the subjective things we want, but these are things that have been said. This is how he feels. It's just is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. So let's talk about it. We're not talking about it. All I see is motherfuckers putting on this hat and fucking
Can we?
happy days. It's like, come on, bro. What are we talking
Can I
about?
ask that we normalize something?
What?
Let's normalize not making your political views known. Like I want to go back to
Oh
an
yeah.
era where you
Oh
would talk
yeah.
about fucking your wife before you would talk about who you voted for. I want to go back to that era.
Shout out Dave
Yeah, I
Chappelle.
was fucking my wife in the ass the other day. I want to go back to that before
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talk
yeah. That's
about
cool,
like
but who are you voting for?
exactly
Whoa, Dave, stop with the personal stuff.
stop with all the personal questions. Um, I think we need to get back to a point where this is something that you go in that booth and you do whatever you do,
Do your thug
because
thizzle.
people I think it's very divisive for us, for any of us to be as open politically as we are. I think it's right to fight, and I think it's right to protest for all the things that you believe in. But
Right.
just walking around, I when I got on my flight to Memphis, was going from
Yeah.
Houston. I had a layover in Houston, was going to Memphis.
Mhm.
This motherfucker walked on, and I mean, the Trumpiest of Trump hats. I instantly thought, like, this plane's going down. This motherfucker's about to start some shit. Could have been a nice guy. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It made me feel
It's
it,
just
it made me feel a kind of way. It made me predetermine and prejudge. It gave me prejudice, and
right.
you know, um,
Yeah.
I can work on that, but I'm not going to. So if you if that's what you get, how you get down, consider yourself prejudged. All right.
So enough of that. Enough of
All
that.
right.
Look, I had to call it out. Look, all right. I gotta call out corny when it's being
It is.
corny. All right. I gotta call out buffoonery when it's being
They are
buffoonery.
buffoons. But it is what it is.
Oh
All right.
yeah.
The Diddler.
Dun 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 dun.
The- okay. We've been saying for years,
Bad boy.
we ain't going nowhere.
Going no
We
way.
ain't
You ain't going nowhere.
you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, like ugh. All right. So look,
All
um,
it all sound
I'm
nasty.
gonna have a couple things to say about this situation. 1,000
Yeah.
bottles of baby oil and loop. What the fuck are we doing? My nigga. Like, and why was that shit on premises? Why didn't you have that shit flown in for the freak offs or whatever? Like, why the fuck are you storing it at your house?
There's no need. Like I just don't understand. Like there's no need for that shit,
Also, do you
man.
know
Like for
how
real.
long a bottle of baby oil lasts? It's just like fucking 2 years minimum.
You probably go through 10 bottles in your life. That's
I
it. That's
don't
it.
think I've ever actually successfully finished a bottle of baby oil.
No, I think it's just like you toss it
Yeah,
out
they
during the
just
booth. And you're
move.
just like, all right.
They just move on to a
Yeah.
new bottle. Like the fuck?
And then you just don't need it for a while. And then like you're like, oh
You're
shit,
like, oh shit.
we don't have any baby oil.
Yeah, fucking squeaky door. Go get that baby oil.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, look, um, there actually is one thing that I've taken away from this, and it has nothing to do with Diddy. Um, I'm confused as to why everybody wants Jay-Z to be on these tapes. Like, I'm like, okay, so first y'all mad because he didn't give Wayne the Super Bowl. Now y'all need this nigga to be in jail with what the fuck has Jay-Z done besides sell out the culture multiple times? That you guys want him to be in jail next to alleged abuser, racketeer Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy,
Hey
the
man.
Diddler
Hey
Combs.
bro. They they just want to see the Jay-Z downfall so bad. Like they can't stand like him being able to make it this far. You know what I mean? Like he's well into his
Without
50s,
having to
right?
diddle somebody.
Yeah, they're like, nah, he's got to have something. Look at the only egregious thing I know Jay Z confirmed has done is rippity rap like Diggity that.
Born in the fluke, I'm regularly wrecking the shit, so what now?
That was really bad.
Yo, that was flames. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And that
And if I could rippity rap like thisity that, then I would tell you that. You're like, yo, he's going off right now.
yo, I spit hot
Uh,
fire. I'd rhyme and I'd rip. I'd rip and I'd rhyme. So look, I'm just saying, I think Diddy belongs where he belongs. I think the culture's been knowing about Diddy. Look, if you,
right.
we talked about this in the barbershop a lot, like,
Yeah.
especially when the Diddy party was like, hey, Diddy's throwing his party in LA. And we was like, I ain't going to that party. I ain't trying to get fucked in the butt. Like, it was a thing
Okay.
everyone knew was happening.
Yeah,
I think
man.
now it's just public that this is what's going on. This man has videotapes of everything. This is a very sad way to watch someone go down, because he thought he had all the power, and them Diageo folks was like, so you gonna sue us? Bet. Cassie, how would you like to be a multimillionaire? Right? And then she got her
Yo,
just desserts, which she deserved. Shout out to Cassie.
right.
Hope she's happy and healthy.
Yeah.
She got her just desserts. And then it has been all downhill. They won't even let this man out of jail. No bail.
No bail. No matter what. He was gonna put up the house? Nah.
Gave up his passports. Nope.
His mom had to give up her passport.
Kids gave up their passports.
Kids gave up their like. What are we talking about, bro?
And they was like, nah, we can't trust you around witnesses, bro. You got to go to jail. You got to go to butt raping jail. Like, this is all bad.
Well, you might like it.
I think he's a top. I don't think he's a bottom. I think he needs the power trip of being a top.
Okay, look, we're not gonna delve too deep into this, but look, I do think that he is a verse. All right, he's freaky enough to be just both ways. He's a switch hitter. You know what I'm saying?
It was a control thing for him, and he's like, no, I've got to be the one who's fucking.
See, I think he thought like that up until like a certain point, and he was like, you know what, man? You know what's even more powerful?
It's even more powerful.
Taking a dig up the.
That is wow.
You're like, yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Wow. Look,
I'm just saying. Man. I'm just saying.
Yo.
This is a rated R podcast.
This is an after dark podcast. I don't know if we're gonna be able to show this to the kids.
Whenever we do the after dark ones, they're always like a little edgier. You know? It's because it's like, oh man.
Yo, Nene.
Yeah.
How did we get here where Diddy is I can't even think about Diddy, because now everybody's looking at Usher sideways. Everybody's looking at, it's like this tarantula, or not this tarantula, it's like this octopus that just keeps growing arms and just grabbing people closer to it, right? And Cat Williams said it's the year of truth, and then Kendrick Lamar was like,
Bet.
telling us a secret, you know what I mean? And then Diddy gets this, and then Drake got suspiciously quiet.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I ain't seen French Montana since
he got hugged in the Ciroc video. That was clearly like, are you and Diddy like dating? Is that a thing?
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
So, and then I find it fascinating that the industry has, I don't know, I don't want to say slowed down, but it does feel like everybody's kind of gone into their whole pause to scrub their Instagrams and you know what I mean, and do the things they need to do, get themselves in order before. Who do you think's on those tapes? Who do you think they got? That's what I want to know. Who do you think they got on tape at these?
So we're gonna speculate who?
You don't got to speculate,
Man.
but I'm interested now.
I think everybody's on those tapes, honestly. And I think the damage control right now is everybody's like, well, I've been to a Diddy party and I left at 10, but I was clearly in that video. And everyone's trying to get that shit out.
I mean, because they're talking about racketeering. They're talking about Rico, which means he was using the business for these freak
Yeah.
offs. And I'm mad that they even put it in the fucking charge because now I got to listen to fucking CNN say freak offs 47 times. Um, but I just this whole thing is crazy to me.
Oh my god, I can't with the news reporter saying freak off, bro. It's crazy. Our our story tonight. Diddy's freak off.
Yeah. And our
Jay Z.
and our top story tonight is Diddy's freak offs. We're still waiting on a list of freak off participants. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what's going on here? Right. And then
It's gonna be crazy. Like they're already the media's already taking this and running with it, but it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be like Biggie, Tupac, and Nas top three or participants of the
uh,
latest freak off video, and you're like, what? What's going
yeah,
on?
what is going on? If Big is on one of
You're
them
just like,
videos, like Big, what's happening here? What's going on?
hey, Big's already been having the buy
I've
conversations.
been
They've
hearing
been.
about those. Okay,
I've been hearing about them
so
too.
is that where we have descended now? Is every artist is probably bi or gay?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Not that it's bad or anything. I'm just trying to figure out if that's where we're going with this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, shit, man. Tupac and Big might have both been by. I don't know. Does that change how I feel about it? No.
No, they still make great music, obviously, but
Yeah, you know,
but you know,
God bless the dead. Sorry to feel nasty talk about this way, but,
hey, I didn't diddy them. I'm
but
not the diddler.
yo, man. Look, okay. Could you imagine if this Diddy revelation that we're having is just
So
conveniently the answer to a lot of conspiracies that we've had in hip hop? Because it's starting to be
it
that
does
way. It's
feel
like,
very
yo,
convenient.
no one man can have all that power. Kanye said. Kanye's gonna be on those tapes.
You think
Calling
Kanye was
it out
at a
now.
Diddy freak off?
I think so.
Kim for sure was at a Diddy freak off.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Kardashians were definitely at freak offs. That's they're on the list. All right,
Amen.
so here's where we are. They're freaking off. Diddy's in jail. We're waiting for this other shoe to drop. He ain't got no bail. Um, we're waiting for more information to come out on this. I just want
Yeah.
I wanted to stop because we entered a weird space where now we're talking about Jay-Z and no man gets to power by being clean. And I'm like, look,
Yeah.
it's not that I'm saying that Jay-Z don't have no dirt, but do it got to be this dirt? Can we find some other dirt on Jay-Z? You know what I mean? Like it's the other thing I hate about this is it lends credence to the notion out there that Hollywood and the entertainment industry is out here sexually assaulting and grooming children for this. By the way, I think that's my biggest takeaway is we need to get these motherfuckers up out of here so that way we can get back to having a clean, safe space for men, women, and children.
Jesus Christ.
Because right now,
This whole thing made Justin Bieber run to Hillsong fucking church, man. Bruh, it's fucking crazy. God damn,
yeah,
man.
this is wild. The diddler.
It's crazy, man.
The diddler. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, man. Like
We did talk about this,
the
man.
the amount of the literal and figurative graveyard of Bad Boy.
Hey, man. The fall off will be studied. It's crazy.
This is crazy. This is nuts.
This is I don't know, man. This is again, the spider web is so big and there's so many other things that get involved. You can go down one rabbit hole for a week. You can go down the Justin Bieber rabbit hole for a week. You can go down whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's just there's all these things tied into Diddy specifically. And I don't know. As each day passes, I guess I feel more and more like, man, he he must have had a lot of dirt on people or something. Because
I mean,
again, radio silence
I want to say he had a lot
kind of
of dirt,
everywhere.
but yeah, it's kind of gone radio silent, and I also feel like this was indeed orchestrated by his handlers, his backers, right, his corporate sponsors, who handed him all of this opportunity, and then he got a little too big for his britches, and they were like, "So I'm talking about." Black people get in these spaces, and then you get to what's the dirt? Pay attention. This is what happens when you go to a space you're not supposed to be in. You know, you just get in there and make your money. And they was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you get to see. Should have never gave you niggas money." And then they did this. This is how I got my tinfoil hat on. I'm like, this motherfucker been doing freak offs for years. People have known about it. The industry has let this shit happen. And then all of a sudden, we want to shut this nigga down for freak offs. This is what.
All I'm saying is, hey, I'm putting this on your generation again. All right. First it was R. Kelly, now it's Diddy. Okay.
Look, this is a. I've done the history. I did the knowledge. Lisa,
You did the knowledge.
what's Priscilla Presley? Was that his wife's name? Whatever Elvis's wife's name.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Priscilla, I
yeah,
think it was her name.
yeah, yeah.
She was 14, my guy. Okay. It's just been popping off for a long while.
They made a fucking movie about it last year. I want to say,
Yeah, like this shit's been
fucking movie romanticizing the relationship.
yeah, this shit's been happening for a
Fucking
while. It's
crazy.
just been happening.
But I loved him. Fuck out of here, man.
Shit's been happening for a while.
Hey, man. That's why he died on the toilet. I don't know.
Are you saying that Diddy or Elvis? Who are you talking about?
Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Look, I'm not putting no names on that bullet.
Hey,
That's it.
no,
That's crazy.
I
Crazy.
look, guys. We have a lot to say about this topic, but at the risk of getting banned by by the YouTube,
There,
I got because I got questions. I'm like, do you think you think the gang is on them tapes?
who?
The higher ups. Drake's
Oh
Drake's
no.
bosses,
Oh no.
You think,
Ugh.
yeah, you think
See, we can't have that
do what
conversation
I'm saying?
without a paywall.
Yeah,
We
you
can't do.
see what
We
I'm
can't
saying?
do
We need the
it. We
Patreon,
just can't
man.
do it.
I got
We need the
questions.
Patreon.
I got questions, man. I'm like,
Because if we really want to dive deep, really got to go there, and I don't know if we can go there on regular YouTube.
nah,
We just can't. We just
I
can't.
got so many questions. You could put it on my generation. Who else we got? So we got let's name let's name the serial rapist we done let off the hook over the
Oh
past.
god! All right.
So
To get the easy ones out of the way, R.
R.
Kelly,
Kelly, Diddy,
Diddy.
obviously. This is
Ay,
rough.
ay, ay.
This is rough. But hey, R. Kelly got hits, man. I don't know if I can stop playing. It's easy for me. I didn't never like Diddy shit. I didn't like what he had going on. So it's easy for me to just delete Diddy from my library because it's very small Diddy section.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal, in that sense.
But
Again, but how many people, and no pun intended, did he touched? Now we just saying shit. Now I
pause.
can't even talk regular. I can't even talk regular without it being like hella positive.
Because
You know what I mean? I can't even be like,
of the diddler, bro.
did did he really have the reach? And you're like, hey, yo, man, bro, back up, bro. What is that, bro? Calm down.
All right, let me. You know what? Nope, I can't even ask that. Never mind. All right, I can't. We can't talk about
Don't
that.
do
We
it.
can't talk.
Don't do
We
it.
cannot.
Don't
We
do it.
can't even talk
Look,
about
guys,
Diddler.
we try. We're trying to touch on it, but hey, pause, bro. I don't know.
You wild out here tonight, bro. What's going on? You wild out here.
The pause meter gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
going
going
off,
on.
man.
It's
It's
going on.
crazy.
Look, we tried to address this subject, but we're only 14 episodes in. We can't be getting banned at this point of the game.
Man. We just gaining some headway right now.
Yeah.
We can't be like getting in the way of that.
Look, I think hip hop needed a Me Too moment. I think it's been in a bad space for a while.
Yeah.
Um, I think people should be safe to attempt to get record deals without
Hmm.
having to go through whatever Diddy's putting people through, whatever other people are putting people through. Because I don't think this is just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we got Diddy now. This all goes away, right? Uh,
Right. It doesn't stop with Diddy is really hip hop's Epstein. It's kind of crazy
this is crazy.
how that works.
This is crazy. But did
Look,
they shut down
man.
the island? That's the question.
Yeah, no, the islands. I feel like it's still going on.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's still parties at that
Yeah,
island.
like
They just got rid of the guy, but
yeah, but the business didn't
next in
need him
line.
anymore anyway, right?
Hey, yo. And that's how I feel like about Diddy. We don't need you no more. So fuck out of here.
And to all the fellas out there that are like, man, the rules are changing too much. Like, you can't even like put your hands on your girl to like, no, you can't. If you could behave like a fucking human being for 10 fucking seconds and not try and, roofie a woman or grab her arm if she's going out the door or whatever
Jesus
the fuck,
Christ.
like, could you guys stop being fucking assholes for 10 seconds? Just be regular
Can
humans.
y'all can y'all just have game, bruh? Can we just can we just
Can
get back
we
to you
get
just having
back
game?
to having
And can you not cheat with the game either? Can you not fucking
a
put a fucking roofie in a drink?
about
Can
to
you not fucking coerce your way into some?
I'm about to, you know what? I'm gonna get off my lawn moment. Um, Social media, man. This social media got y'all fucked up out here. Cause before you used to have to go and address a girl, she may turn you down. She
Yeah,
may say yes. She might give you a fake phone number. You know what I mean? Whatever.
you
You
just have
just
to.
had to go
You
through it.
got to deal with that rejection, man.
Just gotta go through it. Deal with the rejection and get back up. Stand on your own too.
Yeah, man. Come on, be a man.
Be a man. All right,
That's what it means to be a man. It's face
it's
rejection.
face rejection. Go up to her and be like, "What's up, girl?" And
All
she's
right.
like, "Ugh," and then you just gotta walk
She's
back to your homeboys with that shame.
like, "Are you
Are
talking
you
to
talking
me?"
to
And you're
me?
like, "Oh
And
shit."
we're all behind you, like, "Ooh, Jesus."
You got to play it off like that didn't happen. But like,
Yeah.
nah, never mind,
Nah. Oh,
man.
I thought you was somebody else. My bad.
Oh
Go ahead,
yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Um, I got I got one last question before we get out of here.
All right, let's do it.
Mixtape Pluto. The fuck was that?
Hey, bro, Pluto's not a planet, so I don't recognize it. Just like I'm not recognizing this mixtape. That's how I feel.
It's a
That's how I feel.
cold, cold celestial dwarf.
Look, man, Future, you put out two great albums with Metro. Shout out to you. You had a hell of a year. And I'm gonna pretend I didn't see this shit on my fucking Apple Music,
Could
all right?
you explain to me why he released that?
To your point, because he can punch in and make 7 songs in a week and then put it out and be like, you know what, man? I mean, we're on tour. I could put this out. My name's already everywhere. Keeps my name in the cycle while I'm on
This
tour.
isn't the last
Why
thing you
not?
want people to hear, though.
I'm just saying that's the approach and that's the mentality that I think he would have. Do I think it's smart? No. Right? You got two great albums to tour off of. You're fine, bro. Like it's fine. All right. I still don't know what you're saying and like that, but I would fucking run that shit back.
I know what Kendrick said and like that.
I know what Kendrick said and
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. No,
That's the that's the
so you were like, "Hey, listen to," or no, we didn't. You didn't tell me that. We said we would listen to it because I said
yeah.
I would give everything a chance. Future is on the list of shit I do not give a chance to because I just don't enjoy Future's music. His last two albums, Thank You to Metro Boomin, were things I could stomach for a little while, but
Tolerable.
yeah, I tolerated Future for two albums. I'll say that. This one, I got two songs in, and I was like, I'm not doing this with you, Future. You fuck yeah. So, all right, this is exactly what I thought it was. So I'm giving Mixtape Pluto 5 trash bags, 5 full trash bags.
I do have one song on mixtape Pluto that I really liked,
You could probably find a
and
couple
I don't.
songs that I like.
I think you would like. This okay. This is in real time. I'm pulling this up.
Okay.
All right. Lost my dog.
I hear that song is sad as fuck.
But it is sad, but it was really good. I liked
All
it.
right.
I liked it.
I don't have this.
Sometimes you got to get in your sad
I'm a little
bag, you
too
know.
tired to be fucking around with Future, so I'm not gonna promise you I'm gonna get to that anytime soon.
Nah, I mean,
Uh,
you might come back to it in a couple months. Be like, all right, well, Lost My Dog was on one of the ones I'm supposed to listen
all
to.
right. So mixtape Pluto, appreciate that, Future. Well done. Well done.
Shout out for some.
Yeah, good on you for doing something. All right.
Yeah, you did something.
All right. I want to make sure we're doing something here because we've been leaving it off for the past couple times, and that's making sure we give ratings for our things. So mixtape Pluto, I gave 5 trash bags. What do you got, mixtape Pluto? How many trash bags you got?
4.75.
4 points. Jesus.
Yeah,
So you like mixtape Pluto better than Don Tolliver?
yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do.
Damn.
I do. There's a couple songs on there that I like that I might go back to more than Don Toliver. I don't know.
Wow.
Hey man,
Damn.
at this point, Future's an OG. We gotta protect our OGs out here, man. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
ain't protecting his ass. This nigga done made enough music to protect him fucking self.
Oh,
What about your Chloe and Joey Badass track? What's your rating?
Chloe and Joey Badass. I will give. I guess the single songs are hard.
Single songs are
I
hard.
guess I'd give it a trash bag just to be fair,
Okay. All right.
right? It's gonna go on my best of 2024 playlist,
Mm, mm.
right? And it'll I do this thing where I put a lot of music in my best of 2024, and then I kind of start to subtract as the year goes on, as I kind of filter so that I can have like an even mix of like this is my list of like top 30, top 40 songs of the year for me. That's what I do. So it'll be on there. We'll see if it makes the cut.
All right. All right.
So
Um, David James, I'm gonna do about half a trash bag. Um, and that's just me. I probably don't want to give it any, if I'm honest, because I can listen to that one straight through. But I'm gonna give it half a trash bag. There probably is a track or two where I was like, yeah, it's all right. Blue, I'll probably give a trash bag too, just because again, there's some songs
nice.
where it's like, all right. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Future. I got to take the trash out. Like, this is all right.
It's stinking up
Yeah.
the kitchen, Like,
It's
oh man.
definitely that that thing the chicken comes in when you throw it in the trash and you didn't take the trash out and then you wake up in the morning and it smells like,
Ugh.
yeah, that's that album.
You throw away that chicken, you gotta throw it away right
You got
away.
to
It's
go
like
right
when
to the trash.
yeah, throw it away right away.
That was mixed.
Can't leave it
That was
there.
mixtape Pluto for me. I had to get
Yeah.
that shit out the house real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, brother.
Shout out to the Alchemist.
Oh, that was a good album.
Put out that
That
project,
was a
that
good
little
album.
genuine articulate little,
Yeah, that was,
I guess, EP if you want to call
that
it. That was
that
cool.
schoolboy track
I
was
I
fire.
enjoyed it.
That schoolboy track was
That schoolboy track was my favorite off of there.
yeah, schoolboy track was
But I
fire.
even I fuck with the Action Bronson one.
That
Not
was not
gonna
bad.
lie,
That
I
was not
like
bad.
that one. I like the one with Conway. I always love Conway the
You
Machine,
do
so
love
that's not
Conway.
nothing new.
You and that group.
Shout out Larry June. Larry June
Larry
doing his
June was
thing.
on there.
Larry June, that's my dog, man.
How did you like Alchemist on the raps?
That was cool, man. It was just cool to hear him get on the raps too. I think it's been a minute for me at least since I've heard him kind of hit some bars up.
Yeah.
So it was just cool. It was just a cool little album. I don't think I had high expectations for it. I was looking forward to it, but I think I was like, I'm gonna take it for whatever it is, right? And it didn't disappoint,
Nice little project.
right? And he barred it up a little bit. It's cool. It's
It was a
cool.
nice little project for sure. I agree with that. Nice little project.
Yeah,
Nice little project.
yeah,
All right. So next
yeah.
week We will be in person,
in person.
and I will be leaving for DC after we record. So I will come back with
Oh
more
shit.
stories.
More
More
stories. Hey, you on a world tour right now, man.
stories.
I'm gonna need to send you with the camera. Taking it,
Yo,
louder it up, man. We need some content for the channel.
yo, yeah, I'm out.
You
I'm
know,
out here. I'm out
I'm
here.
sending the camera
All
with
right,
you. I
all
promise.
right. Let's get it. Let's
Hey,
get it.
I already missed out on Memphis, so I gotta
Yeah, we got.
gotta
I'll
catch
take.
up.
I'll go
DC.
back to Memphis again. It's definitely a 2-day trip. Unless you plan on moving to Memphis, then you want to explore the area, figure out where all the whites are, and
Oh
and then that's where you move. Um,
damn.
uh, yeah, and then so yeah, we'll do DC, and then yeah, I don't know. I'll probably have to go somewhere else after that, but yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
I'll be bringing you the culture perspective, the actual culture perspective for you motherfuckers who don't go outside and you just sit inside and listen to mixtape Pluto all fucking day. So I'm not gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop shitting on Future. Future
Sure.
had a couple of good albums out, but I am gonna shit on the rest of Cash Cobain. Fuck off.
Why Cash Cobain catch that stray? We didn't even talk about Cash Cobain.
Because that shit still made me mad. Because I did play Cash Cobain, and I wish I didn't play Cash Cobain.
Well,
So,
that was your mistake.
well, I think we've all made mistakes here. Shout out Diddy. Shout out What's the Dirt? The Mistake Podcast.
Yeah, bet I miss my nigga Greg for some nigga, yeah. I got homies in the feds, free my niggas, yeah. I just got the 100 cash, they did in the air.